Welcome back, Truth Seekers. This is Athanasius on your weekly Athanasius Report. And it has been a crazy last couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen. But we have to remain focused here. We are 3 weeks from the election. And what do we need to focus on specifically? Well, to take a line from James Carville back in the 90s, it's the emails, stupid. Right now, there's a ton of distractions coming up from the Democrats to try to bring attention off of them, take the spotlight off of them and bring it over to Donald Trump. All this stuff that's been coming out about Donald Trump and the supposed sexual assaults that people, the Democrats do this every single election. It didn't matter who it was. I mean, freaking squeaky clean Mitt Romney got the treatment. They do this every election because they know that they can't run on substance. They can't run on policies because they're all crap. And so they have to distract and they have to go for the emotional gut punch on people that try to demonize their opponent and get everybody else that supposedly is supporting them to basically say, oh, I don't know if I can support this guy anymore because he's such a pig. He's such a misogynist. He hates women. I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The point being is that we have to stay focused here. This isn't about Trump's accusations, although it is quickly becoming apparent that they are false and they are being debunked, one right after the other. I mean, within the last week, witnesses have come forward and said, no, that didn't happen the way that this accuser is saying. And then you find out that some of these people had ties to the Clinton Foundation or to the DNC. You also have others that are, there was one that was a family member of a rival real estate developer in New York. So it's just, when you start digging in and actually looking past the surface level accusations here, then you really start finding out, that, okay, this is all bullstick. And then look at the timing of it. These women waited until the last 4 weeks to drop these bombshells here. Yeah, this was all coordinated. And they all came out the same day or like within 2 days. Yeah, this was all coordinated. This was more collusion between the media and the DNC. If they knew that these women... Oh, actually, no, it's not an if, okay? They knew that these women were going to come forward and make these accusations, and they sat on it. They sat on it like good little Bundists and just making sure that their dear Führer Clinton wasn't going to wait for the opportune time to help out their dear Führer, okay? And it just really ticks me off. It's just the level of stupidity some people have. I mean, okay, granted, Trump tapes, okay, the tapes he made with Billy Bush and how they, the back and forth going back, okay, that is bad. I'm not gonna lie. And when I heard that, I went, oh, jeez, that's terrible. But since then, Trump has come back. He's apologized. He has made as good as amends as he can on it, short of doing what everybody wants him to do, or I should say everybody, more like the establishment and the globalists and everything, which is drop out of the race. They are trying to destroy him personally because if they can't destroy him on issues, which they can't, then they're going to attack him personally and try to cut him off at the knees. So keep that in mind. And let's return our focus back to where it should be this entire time, what the media should be reporting on this entire time, which is the Clinton email gate. Not just the whole, Secret Server thing. No, we're talking about the WikiLeaks dump that they got from. It's a daily dump now, and all these emails are tied to the Clinton campaign, either through John Podesta or other workers in her campaign, and it is a treasure trove of racism, bigotry, sexism, you name it, it's in there. And almost every day, something new, some new revelation is coming, and the media is intentionally distracting us by trying to throw all these false flag narratives, all these false flag accusations against Trump, because if the American people are actually paying attention to what was going on in those emails for Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State, I mean, they would know that she's crooked as hell, and no way she get. I mean, let me just list off some of these here. One email here. They need a stupid, uninvolved electorate in order to get elected. What does that mean? It means that they need you, the people, to not know what it is that they're doing. They need you to stay fat, dumb, and happy, and just let them roll all over you. That's the kind of people that we're dealing with here. Now, juxtapose that with Donald Trump. He doesn't talk down to people. He doesn't call them deplorables. He doesn't call them basement dwellers or barista. No, he treats them like human beings. He said, we are Americans, and I want to work for you. Hillary Clinton and her campaign, they don't care about Americans. To us, we're just sheep that need to be kept stupid so that way they can just rule all over us and dictate how we should run our lives. There's also another email there. I'm beginning to hate everyday Americans. Again, going back to what I just said about how the disdain she has for everyday Americans. Now, her campaign is trying to say that, oh, no, they meant the term everyday Americans. No, you didn't. Don't try to spin this. You look at the email directly, and there was nothing like, oh, we hate the term. No, they said we hate, she's beginning to hate everyday Americans. And that's evident when you look at, her recent, blow up. Why aren't I 50 points ahead? Because you hate us and we hate you. You are not genuine. You are a fraud. You are somebody who is so phony, who believes that the power should just be given to her automatically, that you shouldn't have to work for it. Everybody should be bowing down and kissing your feet. Well, no. We're Americans, damn it. We got away from the aristocracy and the monarchs and all that stuff because we wanted to live our own lives the way that we saw fit, not because we thought that people like you should run them. So that's why you're not 50 points ahead, and this is why she hates us. She goes on about, how Donald Trump is racist because of his comments on the wall. And all that. But yeah, here we go. Let's see, needy Latinos. Yeah, that's a good one there. Talking about how it's like, oh God, I wish we didn't have to deal with all these needy Latinos. Well, gee, I see how much they rank up there. There's some digs at the African American community, basically, keeping them stupid. Also looking at, the immigration thing and saying that, saying that some races like Asians and Indians, the dot in the forehead kind, not the feather kind, are better at adapting to coming into this country, immigrating. But blacks and Muslims, they're just stupid. They have a hard time overcoming their own selves here. No joke. This is in the emails, ladies and gentlemen. You want to complain to me about racism with Donald Trump or whatever because he wants to build a wall and keep illegals out? Yeah, go kiss my ass. Then we find out that Donna Brazile, the new head of the DNC, which I told you before that she was an operative of the Clinton campaign, and come to find out, sure enough, while she was working at CNN, she got a drop on one of the questions in one of the DNC primaries, and she passed it along to the Clinton campaign, and sure enough, that question was asked in the debate there against Bernie Sanders. Yeah, all you Bernie Sanders supporters out there that are supporting Hillary Clinton, ask yourself, why? Why would you support somebody that has cheated her entire way to get to where she is? Then giving a talk to a bunch of Canadian businessmen, come to find out that she discussed some top secret information about the Osama bin Laden raid. There was a U.S. SEAL that was on that team that wrote a book about it, and he had to pay $7 million to the government in damages because he disclosed, quote unquote, top secret information. And yet, she does the exact same thing behind closed doors, and nobody bats an eyelash. In fact, I think that the information that she put out was far worse than what the SEAL put out. We also know that she hates Catholics and evangelicals, but this email was particularly against Catholics, and her campaign manager, John Podesta, was talking with somebody else about how to subvert the Catholic bishops and how to basically create a Catholic spring of grassroots anarchists to go into the church and basically uproot everything and just turn it into a complete socialist, utopian workplace, paradise, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's in here. they don't care about religious freedom. They want people to be sheep. They want to just rule all over them. Then you have, emails from her good old buddy Warren Buffett saying that he's going to go with Bernie if she doesn't stop lying about the economy, saying that it's in good shape and everything like that, when it clearly isn't. But get this. In other emails, the campaign admits that she lies, that she has a problem with the truth. Her own campaign admits this. Why is she still running? How is she still running? She should be in jail. But no, the powers that be won't do it because, as we find out in other emails, the Department of Justice was colluding with the Clinton campaign. They were giving the Clinton campaign heads up like, oh, yeah, we're going to be bringing you in and discussing these topics here. What? No. No. In normal investigations, you do not tell the suspect that, oh, we're going to be asking these questions here, giving them time to prepare. You want to catch them flat-footed so that way you can either catch them in a lie or start catching contradictions in their story so then you can start pulling them apart and hopefully get a confession. I'm like, no. They gave her, what questions they were going to ask her. That is bull. That is so dishonest. How does this not go unpunished? We also find out that, the president knew about the emails because there was, talk between, hey, it was Podesta and somebody else. Hey, should we hang on to the president's emails? Excuse me? What? So you're telling me that the president actually emailed the unauthorized server there? Well, that's a felony on his part. He should know what even he was briefed on security, and especially from him. He should know that unsecured servers have a different address than your authorized servers in these agencies. And I went over this before in a previous video when I talked about, having the top secret clearance, that every agency has their own little finish. Like with the Navy, it's navy.mil. Okay, at navy.mil. All these other government agencies have something similar to that. And that's how you know that it's an official email from that person and not just a personal email. We are seeing here, folks. We are seeing that through these emails, through this daily dumping, just how corrupt and how far down this rot goes into our government. And it's no wonder why the Democrats are scared, because they know that if Donald Trump gets elected and he gets into that office, he's coming for them, and he's got all the evidence he needs to put every single one of them away for life. And I know he will. And I guarantee you there's going to be some Republicans going down with him as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go to those people that are decrying the whole Trump accusations and Trump sexual assaults and all those other bad things, and just look at them straight in the eye and say, how is this any worse than treason? How is what he said in a locker room or a bus or whatever, wherever it was, any worse than a campaign knowingly colluding with the media to subvert information getting to the American people? How is it any worse? How is the supposed accusations of him being inappropriate with women, groping, which, again, I told you before, they are being debunked at more quickly than dominoes falling down. But how is that any worse than finding out that, oh, here's another little gem here, that they knew that Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and I think maybe a couple other places, were funding ISIS, and yet they still took money from them. The Clinton Foundation took millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia and Qatar, which are funding terrorists. And not only that, but Bill Clinton got himself a nice little $1 million birthday money gift card or whatever, in a car, however they sent it to him from Qatar. This is treason. This is treason on the highest order. How is this still being allowed? How is this not being covered? Well, I know why, because they're colluding with the Clinton campaign. The media is colluding with the White House, with the Department of Justice, with the Clinton campaign to silence this all. And the only one that's speaking up about it is Donald Trump. The spineless Republicans aren't doing a damn thing. And I'm so sick of these people. I am so sick of the Paul Ryans and the John Kasichs and the Bushes and the Romneys and all these other pukes. Being real careful here about what I want to say, but I guess I should say it this way. Hypothetically speaking, if we had lived in a perfect and just world, all these people that were working to subvert Donald Trump's presidency would be found hanging from a tree the next day. Because the American people would smell them out for what they are: traitors, backstabbers, mutineers, whatever you want to call them. And Paul Ryan and Bushes and all those other people would not have long to live. Because we, the American people, do not care for this sort of person. We do not care for people stabbing us in the back and trying to subvert us and trying to sell our freedoms out. And that's exactly what they're doing. These people are evil. And the only way that we're going to beat them, we have to turn back to God. We have to pray, first and foremost. But we also have to remain steadfast. Today's gospel reading, if anyone cares to know, was the parable about the woman that goes to the judge and demands justice in her case. And over time wears the judge down to where he finally says, you know what, I'm just going to ruin this lady's favor lest she brings violence against me. We know that our country has sinned greatly. We know that our country has committed a lot of atrocities, especially when it comes to abortion and the murder of babies throughout the years. God will bring justice upon this country. But now it's a matter of, does he bring it upon the whole country, or does he bring it upon those people that are actively supporting it and aiding it? For those of us that are good and decent people, people of goodwill, we have to remain steadfast in our faith and belief to God. And we have to continually pray to him, petition to him to have pity on us and to help us defeat this evil. I do that every day. Every day I pray that God has mercy on this country and allows us, good people, to take this country back and bring it back towards its Christian roots. We have to start there, folks. And the next thing we have to do is we have to stop listening to the media. We have to stop being told that Donald Trump is down by X amount of points, that he's not going to win. We have to stop listening to those people, and we have to say, by God, I will fight to my last breath to see that Donald Trump wins. We cannot be discouraged by these people. We cannot allow ourselves to say that, you know, all these bad things that are coming out, that there's no hope, or that it's not going to end well for Trump. No, there's still 3 weeks. There's still time to correct this, but we have to continue to hammer the truth out there. We have to continue to be loud and proud about the truth. We have to get out there and we have to tell everybody what exactly is happening. We cannot allow the Democrats, Hillary Clinton's campaign, the media to turn this election into nothing but a grope fest. Try to get us to say that it's all about groping. No, it's about the emails. It's about what's in those emails. It's about the fact that there's collusion, corruption, treason going on in our government as we speak. And if we do not stand up to it, if we do not push back, and if we do not fight back, then God help us. Because if Hillary Clinton gets elected, we will see a bloody civil war in this country. I am not joking. I've gone over before, again and again, how this would happen. Refer back to my previous works to understand it. In addition to the emails, we also have to be vigilant because there is a lot of voter fraud going on. Project Veritas, our good friend James O'Keefe, had his team on an uncover video get a Manhattan Democrats Board of Election type to admit openly that there was corruption going on, that people could basically walk into the station and claim that I'm Joe Smith, get an ID, not a driver's license, just an ID, and be able to vote, and that there were people going around busting these people from one polling place to the other just so they can vote and load up the ballot boxes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is corruption going on. In places like Indiana, Philadelphia, Ohio, we're finding and Nevada too. We're finding Democrats going around and falsifying records, addresses, people's names on registrations, or taking Republican registrations and throwing them away, ripping them up, shredding them without even filing them. People are not being allowed to register because they're Republican. In Florida, a judge extended the registration by 1 week because of Hurricane Matthew. And I've already heard of stories of people going in because of that, going in and turning in the registration, being told that, oh, sorry, it's no longer allowed. No, it was extended till next Wednesday. No, sorry, it's already closed. It ended on the 10th. No, a judge said that it was extended through the 17th. Oh, well, okay, I'll go and file this. And then you never hear back if it was filed or not. That's the sort of shenanigans that are going on right now. The Democrats are desperate, and they know that they have to cheat to be able to get their way in this election. It is going to be a rough next couple weeks, folks. I'm telling you right now, steel yourselves. I'm looking at what's coming up ahead. I'm looking at the huge battles that we have in front of us, and I can guarantee you that even myself, I am concerned. I am greatly concerned. Do I think that Trump can still win in the end? Yes, I think he can still win. I think that despite all the forces of globalism and evil just throwing everything they can to try to stop him in his movement, I think that we still have a chance to win. But we only are going to have that chance if we get everybody that is a blue-blooded American flag-waving patriot out to the polls in time to vote. Whether it's mail-in ballots, whether it's early voting, whether it's on the day of, everybody needs to vote and vote Trump. Another story that's being pushed by the media is that Trump is pulling out of states, and they're trying to tout this as, that means that he knows he's lost that state, and he's just, no. Here's the story, folks, okay? He's not pulling out of states, although I think Virginia he did. I think he might figure that if he concentrates, he has a better chance of getting Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania. If he gets those, then he knows he'll win. Virginia, it's not necessary for him to win. But for those states that are necessary for him to win, what he is doing is he's pulling out of the rural areas that he knows that he's got the vote, and he's focusing on areas that he can pull some Democrat votes off. So that's what's going on. Don't believe what the media is telling you. He's not pulling off. Don't also believe the whole thing about, Pence at his debate performance was setting himself up for 2020. No. Pence does not strike me as the type of man that would pull a knife and stab Donald Trump in the back. The entire time he has been loyal to Donald, even on things he doesn't agree. He openly says, look, I don't agree with him on this issue, but he is our candidate, and I am going to back him up on there. I mean, he's not trying to pull a Paul Ryan where he's trying to actually get either the ticket flipped or get Trump off the ticket entirely. Which, by the way, that coup was quickly squashed. The day after the debate performance, when Trump showed himself to be completely competent, able to come back and hit hard and show that he was still in the race, Paul Ryan held a conference call with a number of high-end Republican politicians and basically tried to get everybody on board to disavow Trump over the Trump tapes and other allegations and everything like that. And he was the only one that everybody else told him to go, no, we're not doing this. We're not splitting the party like this. And Paul has since come back meekly to the fold, but it's only a matter of time before he gets squishy again, like McCain and Ayati and all these other pukes. I hate these people so much. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't hate them because you shouldn't hate anybody, but I am extremely displeased with them to the point where, if I ever saw him face to face, it'd be very hard for me to not punch him in the face. I cannot stand these type of people. then you have the whole another distraction, going after Trump taxes and why isn't he? This one has pretty much died down in lieu of the accusations, but it's still kind of floating out there. Never mind the fact that Trump has done nothing illegal, and the whole kerfluffle over the whole tax law allowing him to write off a almost $1 billion loss over the next 20-something years. Never mind that that's a law that not only Hillary Clinton and the New York Times and Joe Biden, pretty much everybody in business employs, because that's the only way that you can stay in business. It was put in place to help those companies with losses be able not to take it in the shorts too much and go under. Because it's more important to have those businesses stay alive than to have them go under and lose all those jobs. But again, we are talking about the media here. They don't care about the truth. TMZ, of all outlets, found out that NBC had the Billy Bush tape and was sitting on it. And their goal was to edit it so that way they wouldn't have to throw their boy Billy Bush under the bus. But because of Hurricane Matthew, they decided just to release they ran out of time because of all the Hurricane Matthew coverage. And it's the storm of the century. Yeah, I know it was a bad storm. I know that a lot of people died in Haiti, but some of the news coverage on that was just over the top, like Shepard Smith. You will die, and your kids will too. What the hell? I mean, it. Look, I'm not one to blow off a huge storm like Hurricane Matthew. I'm not, especially when you saw the devastation from Katrina and all these other type of storms, and just how devastating it can be when people don't get out of the way. But there is a level of just absurdity when it comes to statements like that. It really is. There's no way you can survive it unless you're extremely lucky. My wife's family not only went through Matthew, but went through a Category 4 and a Category 5. And they both came out alive. It is still possible to survive huge storms like that. It's not a matter of luck. It's just a matter of, where you're located. If you're on the beach, well, you're probably going to get flooded out. But if you're more inland when it hits, chances are you might not get it as bad. Like my parents' or not my parents, my in-laws. They were more inland, so they survived. It's just the absurdity. Anyway, getting back to the whole Billy Bush thing, I'm sorry. But NBC had this story, sat on it. They were going to edit it to save their boy Billy Bush. Hurricane Matthew hit. They ran out. They diverted resources to cover that, so they just released the story raw, and they had to throw their boy Billy Bush under the bus for that. Think about that, folks. And again, this is why the accusers and everything I said before coming out. This is all about timing. This is all about trying to get that last little dig in, the big October surprise. And so far, all the quote-unquote October surprise they've thrown at Trump haven't stuck. They haven't stuck to him. And the October surprises for Hillary have yet to really take off, I feel. I think in the last few weeks, you will see it start to catch on more and more as more and more people talk about it. And there's also rumors going around that the hacktivist group, Anonymous, was able to recover her 33,000 deleted emails. I don't know if they have or haven't, but that's the rumor going around. They've also turned it over to WikiLeaks, so I'd be interested to see that. I think they're saving it for the final week. I don't know if it's gonna be too little, too late, or if the stuff in there is so devastating that it'll just completely blow this wide open. We'll have to see. But we have also rumors going around that there's, again, I hate discussing rumors here, but there's also rumors going around that there's tapes of illegal activity of a sexual nature with Hillary Clinton. Matt Drudge was hinting at something about that. Now, I'm not sure if it's something else to do with Bill Clinton, because he has his own fair share of sexual abuses and assaults and rapes. Everyone from Juanita Broderick to Kathleen Willey. He's just the guy's people called Trump a pig for his talk. Okay, and the fact that he cheated on his wives before, but I don't think Trump ever raped anybody, and yet Bill Clinton gets a pass, and he's allowed to go speak at these events, and he's welcomed with open arms. Typical Democrats. I don't know. Again, I don't know what exactly some of these people have up their sleeves, but if I was a betting man, I would say that if people like Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and Anonymous say that they've got some truly damning information on them, I would be hard-pressed to bet against them. I don't know when they're going to release them. It would be nice if they release them as quickly as possible, but we'll have to wait and see. And we have the debate coming up this Wednesday, the final debate. Again, this is why I wish that this information would be released before the debate so Donald Trump can hit her on that. I mean, not that he doesn't have enough ammunition to it, but if there was something truly damning, then that would be the time to do it because a lot of people would be watching the debates then. But the final debate is this Wednesday, and Hillary Clinton has returned to her coffin to rest up and get ready for the next round. Donald Trump, I think, is still going to be campaigning all the way through, which is good. Keep on it. Stay out there. And, I'm done talking about politics right now. It's just, I'm done. Let's talk about some other things here. Let's talk about how, in the past year, I think maybe a year and a half, 44 Afghanistan troops that came over here to the United States to train on our military bases just up and disappeared. Yes, you heard me correct. 44 Afghanistan soldiers that came over here to the United States have disappeared. They just went AWOL. They walked off the bases and they never came back. And now they're out in the country somewhere. Bad juju, man. Bad juju. Something bad's going to start happening. I don't know if these people just hate it in Afghanistan and just wanted to come over here and figure that, we're not enforcing immigration law. I could just live a nice, comfortable life over here, being an illegal immigrant and all that. Or if they are terrorist cells, sleeper cells that just came in and now they're going to hook up with other cells and coordinate and take the information they learn about the inside of the military bases to strike out at our military. Who knows? But it's not good. And it just further shows that, if we can't vet these people properly, then how the hell are we supposed to vet all the thousands of refugees coming from Syria and other places in the Middle East? Yeah, it's a no-brainer, people. I almost have to laugh at this one. The international panel at the UN believes that that the recent Paris climate change accord will stop hurricanes. Let me just go back to George Carlin here. And it's a shame the guy was an atheist. And he might have also been a bit of a liberal, but the guy had some brilliant points about him. And one of my favorite little things about him was little skits. He was talking about the Save the Whales people, the environmentalists, and how the humans are destroying Mother Earth. And he basically says, this is so stupid. The Earth has survived millions of years. Asteroids, earthquakes, typhoons, lava flows, volcanoes, all this stuff. And we humans think we are so important and so arrogant as to be able to destroy this planet. And I have to agree with him on this. Think about it. Without our modern conveniences, without our electricity, our air conditioning, our computers, internet, and all that stuff, without even, modern building construction, living in grass huts or simple wood cabins, we would be at the mercy of nature. We would have many more deaths every year, people freezing in the brutal winters up north. People would not be able to live in the desert. You'd have a greater population decline in Africa than what you have now because there wouldn't be medicine to keep the diseases from just wreaking complete havoc on the population. You would have wildfires just destroying homes and livestock, and just you without being able to fight them. They would just continue to burn. We can't predict, we say, earthquakes coming or whatever, but we can't really predict, the exact time it's going to happen to warn people, nor can we stop them. We can, quote unquote, plant seeds in clouds to get them to rain or not rain, but, that's about as much as we can do in terms of manipulating the weather. And yet we think that by signing this accord and reducing the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, that we're going to, quote unquote, stop hurricanes? Please. The arrogance of mankind. It's too much sometimes. It really is. Let's end this on a happy note. Tim Tebow. I like Tim Tebow. I'm not a Florida Gators fan, okay, but I like Tim Tebow because I think he's a quality guy. I think he's an upstanding Christian, and I like the fact that he's unabashedly open with his faith and just all-around good guyness. So you heard recently that he got picked up by the New York Mets to play for their league. He had, on his first game playing with the Mets, I think was it the real Mets or was it the fall team? I don't remember, but anyway, he was wearing the Mets uniform. It wasn't a minor league. It wasn't a minor league thing that I'm aware of. First pitch, first at bat, cracks a homer right out of the park. If that ain't a sign of good things to come from that guy, I don't know what is. But I think that he should do well in the baseball stadium. I believe that he'll be accepted there more than he will be on the football field. Then another story about Tim Tebow here. They're at a scrimmage game or whatever. Afterwards, he went to go sign baseballs for fans, autographs. And a fan all of a sudden had a seizure and dropped to the ground. Tim Tebow ran over to the guy. He stopped what he was doing. He ran over the guy, go see what was happening. And he laid his hands upon him. He started praying. Okay, I mean, in that situation, there's not much you can really do with a seizure. And I know that from fact because one of my little brothers had epilepsy growing up. And so without the medication, he would lapse into seizures. And there really wasn't anything more you can do except just wait for it to pass. You would, clear the area and make sure he didn't try to knock into anything. But you were pretty helpless in this case. The only thing you do is just pray and just wait for it to end. So Tim Tebow lays his hands on the guy and starts praying. And as soon as he starts doing that, the guy's seizure stops. Now, some are attributing this a miracle. Some are saying that it's just a coincidence. Personally, I think as good as man as Tim Tebow is, I think that him praying over the epileptic man had something to do with it in terms of stopping it. That doesn't mean that Tim Tebow's a saint. There are people, not just in history, but in modern times, that are on record demonstrating the power of faith healing. I just wanted to leave off with that, ladies and gentlemen. Just a good story for you to remember that there is still good in this world. 3 weeks. 3 more weeks of this crap. And then we get to spend our time wondering if Obama's going to pull something out of his butt and declare martial law at the last minute to try to stay in power before turning it over to Donald Trump. But for right now, let's take it one step at a time. 3 more weeks to the election. Get out and vote. If you don't like Trump, look at the other side, Hillary Clinton, and tell me honestly, if you can vote for her and not Trump, then why? Tell me why. Tell me why you would vote for her and not Trump. And give me reasons. Other than, oh, she's a woman, it'd be great for... No. It'd be great for a woman to be president, yes, but not her. Just not her. Oh, but Trump's a pig and Hillary isn't. Hillary isn't a pig. She isn't a liar. She isn't a traitor. She isn't all these other things that are worse than a pig. I mean, a pig's a pig, to be sure. But at least a pig has the opportunity to clean himself up and get right. You can't trust a traitor. You can't trust somebody that stabs your country in the back, that tries to sell you out. And she hasn't tried. She has sold us out to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, George Soros, and all these other globalists that don't want American sovereignty. Oh, I forgot about this email here. Okay, sorry. Last little point here, and I'm going to sign off here. But there was another thing about her in her emails I forgot to bring up earlier. She stated, quote, that she wants a borderless world, a borderless hemisphere. No borders, an open society. Everybody just comes and goes as they please. Open trade, open society. That's treason, ladies and gentlemen. That is selling our sovereignty. She is a traitor. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Find my website, athanasiusreport.com. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, at athanasiusrep. And I will see you next time on the Athanasius Report. Take care. God bless. Christ's peace upon you all.